Good afternoon, everyone. Back on a Tuesday again to do our match day recap on the fantasy football little strategy series we're trying to run the now. So quite an interesting weekend. It was really good for my main portfolio holdings, which makes this kind of difficult to do because when I was building the team, there was some players I wanted to get into this team that I already had, and I wanted them all to sit in my portfolio, all nice and clean, like goalkeeper down to striker. They're all together, they're not all jumbled around or anything, so I can quickly scan my portfolio and see that's maybe fantasy football strategy, that's how they're ticking on, who's moving up in price, who's moving down, whatever. And we had a bit of a mixed weekend. I'll take into the portfolio and I'll show you how they're all sitting now. Okay, but it was a good weekend overall for dividends. We did really well on the other side of things with guys like Sterling and who else did well for his Hazard. I think he scored, didn't he? But yeah, it's been pretty good overall. Okay, so All Black bagged us a clean sheet, which was great to see for the goalkeeper. He's one of our favourites for getting clean sheets on the books, and just throughout the season, really. Atletico Madrid, they're really, really solid. Guerrero hasn't returned into the Dortmund team. I had a message from one of the subscribers telling me he was coming back to fitness, which we both thought was quite promising and quite good news ahead of this, but he's still not back in the team, so his price hasn't really done anything, and also he's not been on the pitch to earn us any dividends. Okay, big Koulibaly, however, he showed up in a big way, smashed in 2 goals for Napoli, and a 3-1 win over the Flying Donkeys Chievo. Now, he didn't win Best Defender, which was unfortunate. I think was it Bayern Munich who played Sunday? I think Bayern Munich played Sunday. It was probably Kimmich or something that won it. But he was really unlucky not to win Best Defender. That'd have been brilliant. Robertson did well at the weekend, didn't contribute anything in terms of dividends in any way, shape or form. Wijnaldum didn't play. And see, what I said to you when I put this team together, I remember this time last year, Wijnaldum really came onto a game, he did really well. Basically what's happened in the last 2 or 3 games is it's been Naby Keita has took his place and took his form. A similar thing happened to us on the portfolio when we bought Eriksen. Just before Kane got injured, like in January, we thought brilliant, Eriksen will step up and show everyone how he's a class player, and it was Son that done it. So again, we're maybe in a wee bit of deja vu with expecting Wijnaldum to come into this little bit of form, and out of nowhere Naby Keita's come in and done really well. So if you're holding Keita, well done. So it looked like he was heading for the exit door. It's definitely revitalised his career. Asensio played last night on a 1-1 draw against Leganes, which Real Madrid will be very disappointed in. Asensio, but the strategy for him was we believed that Zidane likes him and will play him, and that's what happened, and we just never really got anything out of it, unfortunately. Di Maria, I don't know what Paris were thinking again, but they've fielded a really sketchy team against Lille. It wasn't their strongest by a long way. I know Di Maria's still struggling with injury or whatever, but Lille turned them over and absolutely romped them, so PSG didn't do much for us. Coutinho, I think he started for Barcelona at the weekend. I can't remember. Played Champions League. I think that's what I was thinking about with Robertson as well. It was Champions League football from last week, sorry, yeah. So again, a few of these guys in Napoli in terms of Champions League. I think Koulibaly was Europa League, sorry. I think it was up there. He was definitely in the top 5 defenders, but he didn't quite snag it. Coutinho started against Man United, and Suarez's OG, had that been an actual on-target effort, Coutinho would have bagged as an assist, which would have been massive for him. It was really low down, but with the media news we just had with the summer transfer stuff, Koulibaly and Coutinho's prices moved up a little bit. But like I said to you in the last video, we were starting behind the 8 ball a little bit with Coutinho. So even though if you picked him up a while ago for 161, you're looking good now. Unfortunately, we just picked him up at a slightly higher position, so we've got more ground to cover. Jovic, 4-2 loss. He scored a goal against Benfica, and I don't think he done it. No, he didn't score at the weekend, so his price sort of meandered over the last week. As you can see, kind of dipped, kind of really floated about, didn't do much, but then again with the big bonus stuff, he's popped right back up. Okay, so we're really crossing our fingers fantasy football wise that Jovic can use those 2 away goals that Frankfurt have got in Benfica and try and turn that result around. Okay, I found out the way I told you before. I'm sure there's another way of saying moist keen that the Italians say, and it's Moss Kane is the kind of way. Also, it's been an Italian accent, but it's Moss Kane is how they say it. Another great week for him. I think he scored again at the weekend, or he played well. He's came really back into a bit of life. Moise Keane, he's really kicking on, kicking on, kicking on. He's not just going to be a flash in the pan. I think he's going to have a good presence in the team between now and the end of the season, regardless of how far they do in Europe. And that could be a really good hold for us. And then we've then got Giroud. He's not done anything. He started the game against Prague, and we'd expect him. Oh, that's what it was with Hazard. Well, at the beginning of the video, I was talking about dividends. Hazard stole the show, I think, didn't he? My mind's marbles now, guys. I've been really busy at work and I was just quite conscious of getting this video out. But yeah, Giroud didn't do anything for us. He's kind of waning in price. He's not really going anywhere, okay? And right at the bottom, we picked up some Denzel Dumfries after doing the videos. I sold somebody. I was liquidating some players to have some cash balance for the news coming out, and I was quite happy to retrospectively, after the news, jump on whoever was hot. Because I knew it was going to be something media based, and I knew my guys like Ronaldo and Sterling and Hazard would have done okay anyway, regardless of what the news specifics were. But I thought I'll get some Denzel, and then aftermath of it, I picked up some Felix as the market opened again. And I found I had a spare bit of money, and I went and picked up some Varane, because even with all the movements that's happened in the last 24 hours, Varane's went back, and the only reason I can see people selling Varane is they want that money to deploy it elsewhere. So I'm quite happy to see a wee opportunity if somebody's on a down. I mean, I don't really think they should be. Quite happy to pick him up as well. Okay, so a little bit of a small portfolio update. But what we're doing now, guys, and this is the main meat of the bones in this video, is we're now going to be starting to plot our transfers, okay? Because we're about to start the final 30-day cycle, right? Some of these guys, like Koulibaly, are probably quite happy to hold all the way to the end, because he's going to have media. He's going to have a media attraction from users on the index. People will want to buy him because he's very possible to get 4th and 5th place on the media after the Champions League final, and can earn you some media dividends. And especially if he does transfer to Man United or Real Madrid, he could definitely get 1st, 2nd or 3rd easily as well. So he's going to hold in value pretty well. I might hold him past even his IPD cycle and just keep him going. Same with Phil Coutinho, we'll see how it goes. Same with Jovic. But what we're starting to do now, and I recommend you guys do also, is you start to have a look at the calendar, okay? And you see when people's last matches are, okay? So, right, 30 days before that last match is the last chance I've got to get every possible shred of IPDs in them, and then just hold them through the summer. I've gathered all the IPDs I'm going to gather, and then it's just been waiting for the summer, any media and any capital appreciation that comes your way. So those little blue lines you see, 18, 19, 25 and 26. I'm normally very transparent, guys, but I'd rather show you at least the 18 and the 19 retrospectively. I'll just show you. So on the 18th, I'm going to be looking to buy some Alaba and some Brandt for the fantasy football. For the 19th, sack it. I've already bought some Varane, so I'm not going to worry about Varane. I'm going to try and buy some Kroos and some Mendes for the fantasy football. On the 25th, Pepe, Sangayer and Thuram. And then SMS on the 26th. There you go. Told you guys, very transparent here, I don't care. Sack it. I'm only going to be spending I'm going to be selling. I've got a little sheet as well that'll show you as well. Sack it, why not? My kind of ideas for who I'm going to sell for who, okay? So then I'm working backwards. If I want to buy them on that date, when's the best time to sell this person? If that makes sense. I did this before all the news, yes. I don't know if I'm going to quite sell Jovic. I don't know if I'm quite going to sell Coutinho. But anyway, guys, so you need to start thinking ahead in terms of IPDs. Even though I've called this fantasy football, it's a strategy on Football Index to try and milk as much IPDs out of any small portion of money you have in your portfolio as much as possible, okay? And I say, guys, I'm very transparent. I probably shouldn't show people that. It's probably not in my best interest, but sack it. Who cares? I'm in a good mood, I suppose. So that's how the portfolio is sitting there now, guys. We'll be looking at doing some wheeling and dealing this week. As you just seen, we've got some targets. I might adjust that a little bit just on the back of the news, but that's what I was trying to think of with these people here, is who would I like to have 30 days of IPDs before we then get into media in the summer, okay? Who's likely to transfer? And these guys, I've basically taken them all from the videos that I've done, because when I do these videos, guys, a part of the reason is I've not got millions and millions of pounds where I can just buy everyone who I see potential in. I need to bide my time and hedge my bets. So I'll buy some of him now because I see this in the short to medium term, and when I'm done with him, I'll move on to that one. etc, etc, etc. Okay, so just because I talk about somebody in a video, I might not buy them for my own personal portfolio. It's not as if that's some sort of slight against them or I'm just talking garbage. It's just I don't have the money to buy every single player that I want to highlight to you. You might have money sitting in your portfolio thinking, where do I move my money next? And then you might see a wee video from me. You might watch one of my old videos and think, oh crikey, 2 months ago he was only, you know, in new money 140, and now today he's still only 148, but he's still got all this going on, and you know, blah 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 blah, whatever. Okay guys, so we're doing some selling this week. Match day 3 will probably look totally different to who we've got, who we've sold, and all that type of stuff. Okay, so hang about for that. I'll chat to you next Tuesday with fantasy football, guys. Like, share, subscribe, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.